ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರ ಚೆನ್ನೈ एक्सप्रेस दयावासी स्टेशन नेताजी भवन
Well, Shreyas put Lucknow into bat in their home venue, Lucknow's home venue, the first game happening this season. Traditionally a low-scoring pitch, and today, well, it's kind of delivered just that. It promised to be low-scoring, and it was. Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live, and the story from Ekana in Lucknow is that on 165 average, that's what you get in Lucknow, they've managed to get 171. So it seems like they're a little above par. But Lisa, it's just felt like an innings that never really kind of got going, right?
No, it couldn't. When you lost Mitch Marsh straight away, I think they were hoping that he was able to kind of find the boundary early on and then free up for the rest of the batters to come. But he went and they lost, what, 2 or 3 within
three in the power play.
3 in the power play, so it's very hard.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Nicholas Pooran was batting with almost the handbrake on. He knew that he had to kind of hang out there. They stitched together a partnership with Badoni. But then, yeah, they just couldn't really get going. And I actually thought Punjab bowled really well.
Yeah, when you look at, we're just talking about batting just one more second, because 3 wickets in the power play. Yes, I know in old school, old money T20 that we talk about, very difficult to claw yourself out of that situation. But modern day T20, we're saying that even with 3 wickets down, you're packed with batters till 7 and 8, you're seeing teams that are clawing themselves out of that situation and getting close to 200. That didn't happen for Lucknow today.
No, but I think they've kind of... I don't think stumble is the right word, but they've kind of got themselves to 171, and I'll be honest, I thought they were going to get around 145, 155 at one point. So, but only played a really clever innings, and Samad came out there and hit his first ball for 6 and gave them that injection down the back end. But you know, the pitch looks good, the pitch looks fine, but 171's on the board. I think it'll be challenging to chase. Punjab have got a fantastic batting lineup, so they'll fancy chasing it, but. You sometimes watch 20 overs of cricket and you go, I don't quite understand how they've got 171. Because for the most part, it felt like it was a struggle.
Yeah.
But they've got a score that is, in old money, beyond par.
Respectable.
Absolutely. So they're in the game. They're in the game, and I think probably after around 10 overs, well, certainly after the power play, we were thinking that they were out of the game. They've got a chance.
Yeah, so so what happened is they lost the big hitters early. They lost Mitchell Marsh. They lost Rishabh Pant as well in the power play. So it came on to Nicholas Pooran to play a role that he's not had to play too much, right? I mean, just to rotate the strike, to keep the game together. He was good enough to do that. So 44 of 30, considering what was happening, there was a bit of a march past happening in front of him of batters. And with Ayush Badoni giving him company there. I'm happy that Nicholas Pooran today has shown another gear. So Lucknow fans and team management will be happy with that.
Yeah, when you look at what he was able to do in the first 2 games and he just went helter-skelter, it was nice to see him think about his cricket, right? Yeah. Sometimes these guys, we call them flat-track bullies, you know, there's nothing much in the pitch and then they can hit through the line, whereas he is like, no, not yet, let me defend, no, let me just work that one off, no, let me target Chahal, because I feel comfortable against him. So he had to figure things out and go, okay, I've lost Markram, I've lost Marsh, I've got Badoni with me. So how do we get to a point where we're getting that 180 maybe?
Yeah. So, the Punjab bowlers will be very happy with their yield today because they kind of all got themselves on the board. They all kind of made a mark today. There was 3 wickets for Arshdeep Singh. He got some at the back end. There was Lockie Ferguson who got the 1 wicket for 26. Glenn Maxwell bowled his 3 overs pretty tight. Remember, 2 of them, I think, were in the power. One of them was in the power play. One of them was in the power play, and the other one was the 7th over. Then Marco Jansen bowled a really tight over in the end where Badoni and Samad couldn't get him away. Marcus Stoinis bowled his 2 for 15. Yuzi bowled his 4 overs, got a wicket, and he's off now. He's back in the taxi to the hotel because he's been subbed. Nehal Vadera's there. They'd be happy with these returns because on the Hindi show we call it Kaddu katega sab mein batega, which means you cut a pumpkin and everybody gets a slice.
Yeah, and Marcus Stoinis was the only one that didn't get a slice of the wickets.
Yeah.
Was it last night or the night before that all 6 bowlers got a wicket?
Yeah,
yesterday, last night.
Yeah,
So,
last night.
and we were saying, oh, surely that's not happened that often. It nearly happened again tonight. Yeah, they were excellent with the ball. When you get a wicket early and you get Mitchell Marsh, it gives you a little bit of a boost in the field. And I thought the captaincy was good. They've got great variations with their attack. I think Lockie Ferguson actually brings something completely different to what they haven't had last week. He's just that wicket-taking pace bowler that you need. He bowled a beauty actually through the gate. But just back on Nicholas Pooran, I was delighted he played in that fashion.
Yeah.
Because it just sends the message that if you want to be the best player in the world, and he's right up there with the best, you can't just play one way.
Yeah.
It's impossible to just go out and play one way because circumstance, pitch, conditions, it's always different. Every game's a different day. And he just showed tonight that actually he is very much a modern player. He's very much if he gets on a flat wicket and there's no wickets down, he can go as big as anybody. But he had to tell himself today that he couldn't play that way.
Yeah.
And he just went, thank you very much. So there's just a lesson to all. That's my old man's kind of just speech to all those young players that you don't have to just play one way. And if you want to be the best, you've got to have different ways of playing on different days against different opposition in different circumstances. So, yeah, I was quite happy to see that.
Can we get Michael a rocking chair and a pipe so he can go, this is how you play, kids, you see. Sometimes you have to slow it down.
and he still got 44 off 30.
Yeah.
Still got a 150 strike rate, so
Absolutely.
it's not too shabby here, right? Pooran was fantastic. But I want to also talk about Shreyas Iyer, his captaincy, rotating the bowlers, who he's bowling. I love hyping him up because I feel like last year he just didn't get enough credit for being that trophy-winning captain. And he's just so calm, cool, collected. Loved what he did last game when he was on 97. Told Shashank, don't worry about it. Just keep hitting. Probably was the difference, those extra runs they got. Just liking what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah, you take the ego away, right?
Yeah.
And that I think that's changed over the years. In IPL, it's like, no, let's make sure we win. And he's the fourth Indian captain to win an IPL as well, behind absolute legends of the game, right?
Yeah.
So that tells you where he sits in the hierarchy.
Wow.
He sits right up there, I think. And you feel that he's in control. He's very calm. He's very relaxed. Obviously, the relationship with Ricky Ponting is a really good one. And they probably get the best out of each other. So I think all signs are looking really good for Shreyas Iyer.
It was, we spoke about this in the pre-game of how matchups, and we knew that Nicholas Pooran would target Yuzi Chahal, and we were talking about how Yuzi Chahal will love that because he relishes a challenge. And he did that today. He got Pooran. He got hammered in one over, but then he comes back and just keeps tempting him, which is what Chahal does. And Chahal always says that, right? Chahal, when I spoke to him about bowling in Chinnaswamy, and he would always say, I'm always telling the batter, go ahead, hit me for a 6. Yeah? Can you hit me for another one? Another one? So he says for a leg spinner in a small ground, if you're willing to take those 6s, you'll get the wickets.
Yeah, and you could see Pooran waited for him. He waited for him to come on and hit him for a few, and then that googly actually got him out. But I like, Kuldeep Yadav, Yuvi Chahal, because they give the ball a bit of flight. It's a bit old-fashioned in terms of the way that spinners used to bowl, is kind of tempt the batter down the wicket.
Pipe again.
Yeah,
he doesn't just fire it in. There's so many just fire it into that kind of decent length and want to get hit square of the wicket. You see so many spinners now that actually don't mind being cut. Whereas I think with Chahal, he does invite that hit down the ground. And that's where he gets so many of his wickets, either top edges to the right-hander, and pretty similar tonight getting Pooran out. And that's a big play. Because Nicky Pooran worked hard, he got the 44 off 30. I reckon if Pooran's down the back end in the 18th, 19th over, that score's not 171, it's probably 190 odd.
Yeah, and you could tell that as soon as Chahal got Pooran's wicket, it changed, right? There was a direct impact on that game.
Yeah, simply because of what he can do and how explosive he can be. I guess they were just waiting. When is he going to go? When is he going to go? So again, you're speaking about Shreyas Iyer. The fact that he got hit for 20-odd off Chahal and then gets given the next over again, that's brave captaincy.
15 of that 10th over, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's brave captaincy. Now, most captains will go 15. Right, let me rotate the bowlers through so he doesn't size them up and go. But no. I think we can get him because he thinks he can hit him as well.
And then Abdul Samad came at the crease, and he's hit this one shot, which, I mean, I've got Albert Einstein on my speed dial. I called him and said, can science explain this shot? He said no. Called Stephen Hawking, he said no. They've just all given up. Newton, nobody. Science can't explain that shot.
So you're asking me and Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, close enough.
Professors.
Close enough.
Yeah, the professors.
Speed dial 4
You're
and 5.
talking the ramp that was kind
It
of
was,
wide of
I
off
think,
stump.
9th stump.
Yeah, and he's kind of, and he absolutely meant it to go there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see players play the ramp and they're kind of flicking it down to third and it goes down over fine leg and you think, oh, they've just got lucky, they've just it's come off the inside edge of the bat. Whereas actually, if you see the way that he's played it, he's seen it, and he's got in a position to kind of probably go over the keeper's head and then realise it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So he's just changed the angle of the bat. I mean, it's remarkable, the shots that you see play, but that is right up there in terms of the remarkables that we have seen.
It's
it's the bravery, you know, getting down and you're facing a ball that's coming down at 85 miles an hour. So to get down low and then just stare at the ball, I think it helps that it's away from the eye line. So it's away from the eye line. And they probably think with the field that say it's going to be wide of off stump. You know, we saw him, Arshdeep bowling in the last over where he went straight a double bluff to Shardul, but I think they knew it was going to be wide. So you get down and you think, oh, come on, it's not going to be too close to the face.
Yeah.
But it's still brilliant skill.
The audacity of these kids, I tell you.
But also,
These kids.
and also Samad went out there, they put a slip in place to Arshdeep.
goes
So guess what he
first
thought? He
ball.
goes, oh, it's going to be full. I'll dance down. He whacked him over extra cover for 6.
Yeah. It's
Brilliant.
chess. It's actually speed chess. That's what they're playing. Let's talk about Arshdeep for a second. There is a reason why he's right up there in terms of wicket tally. And any captain says it, that it doesn't matter. You go for 40 because that'll happen, but just get me the wickets.
And he did that. He got hit for 20. See, this is where the 20 comes in.
Yeah.
I knew there was an over a 20.
That's right, there was, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then closes it out. So that's just clever bowling, stuck to his guns, knew exactly what he needed to do to execute, bowls really well at the death. He's got all the variations. He's got, maybe he was quite preoccupied with taking the ball really wide. So I'd love to see him be able to target the stumps every now and again as well. But really clever bowling and picks up 3 wickets.
But he does that, right? That's what we knew Arshdeep for. He was like a Yorker vending machine, right? He just always was. But I guess, is this where all the data is coming in and the matchups are coming in where he's going, all right, we got to go way wide of off, just keep bowling over there.
Yeah, I mean, he got 3 big wickets, 3 right-handers, Badoni Samad, and obviously the start, Mitchell Marsh, that one just bounced from nowhere. He's got different skills. You know, he can swing the ball back into the right-handers, he's quick enough. And you can see now he's clearly got lots of different variations down the back end. He can go obviously wide of off stump. He probably doesn't come around the wicket as much as I see someone like Mitchell start, which is something that he can probably bring to his game. But he's a real class performer with the white ball.
Now, can Lucknow stop them, or can Punjab, with this formidable batting lineup, get this score? Because it's 172, so it's not too much. Yeah, the asking rate's not crazy. They've got a long batting lineup. They've got a batting lineup, more importantly, in form. They've got a couple of kids up there. We're doing this a lot today. They've got a couple of kids up there. We saw Priyansh Arya was very impressive the other night. Would they just be giving them the license and saying, go for it, man? We've got a lot of batting to come. Remember that Nehal Vadera's come in as an impact sub, which means Marco Jansen comes out to bat at 9. Yep. Marco Jansen or Suryan Shetty come out to bat at 9. These are proper big hitters. So what's the approach here?
You've got to try and get ahead of the curve, really, that power play. You've got to try and see if you can get a 60-odd. So therefore, if the ball grips and turns a little bit, or if it makes it hard, if it starts to become really hard to score runs, you don't want to be behind and then losing wickets and making it harder for the other batters to come through. So I really, it's the top of the order that need to fire from my point of view.
And a guy like Priyansh doesn't need an invitation to go nuts in the power play.
No, go nuts.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I mean, to say our Punjab chase, because we haven't had many good chases over the last few nights, and then won by chase last night, but that was a tiny total.
Yeah.
You know, Chennai struggled. They didn't throw a punch. Mumbai struggled in a chase. I'm intrigued to see how this looks like a really good Punjab team. You know, depth in batting, very well coached. I'm intrigued to see how they chase down this 172, and I'd be amazed if they don't get ahead of the rate. The power play will be the target, get ahead of the rate, and then you just give yourself a bit of time in the middle. But, you know, when you've got Shreyas Iyer, you've got Maxwell, you've got Stoinis, you've got that licence at the top to say, go on.
Yeah.
Go and get a flyer.
So what do you think the score is going to be?
Power play?
In the power play.
It's going to be 58.
That's literally, that was the number I had, 58.
That's why I said it.
Ah.
I could see.
63.
The thing is that Michael and me have spent so much time together. We're reading each other's thoughts, completing each other's sentences, lighting each other's pipes. What do you say? 63. I was going to go 58. This has changed everything. Give me a couple of minutes. Talk amongst yourselves. This is important.
You must be looking forward to dinner. I haven't had dinner.
Well, it was on the table. It's ready
It's waiting.
to go. It's there.
So hurry up and guess.
126. It doesn't matter. We got to go eat. I'll go 61.
All right, so we're all in there.
Yeah, stack and pack him. All right, we're pretty close to each other. That's all we have time for. We're going to go see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox, where we will be very happy because we would have eaten by then. At this point in time, there is no oxygen in my brain, so we will go get some food. Thank you for watching Voltas FreshAir Coolers presents Cricbuzz Live.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಲ್ಲಿ Hyderabad Express Varanasi Station, Netaji Samad.